Hello everyone, this is Running on Empty Food Review. And hello ladies and gentlemen, and everyone watching. It's a wonderful Saturday afternoon. Around 2:15 p.m. it is on this Saturday, and Saturday for me it's always traditionally been pizza day. I don't know why that is, I don't know why it always falls on a Saturday, but for me it was always long-standing tradition. I'd always get myself some pizza on a Saturday afternoon. That'd be like my little treat for the weekend, you know? Used to be I'd always go to Domino's Pizza, get it delivered, the good old delivery from Domino's. Then I switched over to Pizza Hut. Well, I was probably going to get Pizza Hut anyways. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything here. But then there was a glimmer of hope that I saw Little Caesars had came out with this new pizza. It's their deep dish pizza, yes, with a stuffed crust. We already know that. They've came out with the stuffed crust deep dish pizza before. However, what makes this so special is that it's a stuffed crust now wrapped in pepperoni. That's right, they got their glorious deep dish pizza, cheese stuffed crust, and then that cheese stuffed crust is wrapped in little pepperonis, which of course come from the Pepperoni Beast, granted. Now here it is. Now I'm gonna hold it up for you. There you go. I'm sure you can see at least some of it. You could probably see some of the box or something. There you go. Hopefully that's a good grand view for you. Of course, it's their standard, you know, deep dish pizza. Pepperoni on it. They up the ante though, of course. You can kind of see, you can see it a little bit in there, right in the crust. You can kind of see a little bit of red. And I know there's a lot of colors of this. They put a good heap of sauce on it too. But that red right there in the crust, that is your pepperoni. Alright, so what I'm hoping to get a good flavor of the pizza in general. The one problem that I had with the stuffed crust pizza the last time I tried this, I believe, was that their cheese, it was cheesy, but it just wasn't that flavorful. So what I really hope this pepperoni is going to do is it's going to add a nice saltiness or a spiciness to that cheese and make it a lot better. So we're going to eat now. I'll briefly take some bites of the pizza, but I know all we care about is the crust. You know, if you're going to Little Caesars, chances are you've had their stuffed crust or their deep dish pizza to begin with. So mostly we'll focus on the crust here, but going in. The pizza itself is actually pretty good. I do have a newfound respect for their pizza sauce. I always used to complain about how much sauce they put on it, but the sauce is really nice. I actually do like the little bit of just tangy coolness that comes with this sauce. You know, it's not a sweet sauce or anything. It's a thicker sauce, has more consistency to it. Very flavorful. I gotta say, very rich, flavorful sauce, and something I do admire. Otherwise, their pizza is on point with the other stuffed crust, or the other, I keep saying stuffed crust, the other deep dish pizzas, you know, very doughy, very chewy, pretty cheesy as it is, and, you know, very greasy and salty too. Now, here's the big reveal, alright? Have yet to penetrate the crust there. We're going to do that now, and I'll let you know what it tastes like. Take a bite from this end too. The pepperoni helps, but it's not as flavorful as I thought it would be. You see, the cheese in the crust, it's like that's how all these stuffed crust pizzas are. It's like a string cheese in there. And oftentimes that cheese you can't really taste a ton of it. You know, it's gooey, you can feel it very much texturally. But that cheese itself, here's the two problems you get. It's either not cheesy enough, or it's too cheesy, and there's never really a good balance. Now, the problem with this was that I couldn't really taste too much flavor with that originally. Well, I hoped this pepperoni was really going to improve that. You're able to get a good blend of flavors. Problem, I bite in, I can't really taste the pepperoni. Now, if I really delve in there and I tell myself, remember the pepperoni, see if you can taste the pepperoni, then I'll be able to taste a little bit of that saltiness from the pepperoni. Now, is the average consumer going to sit there saying, alright, prepare yourself to taste that pepperoni? No, they're not. They're going to bite in, and they're going to either A, be able to taste it outright, or B, not be able to taste it at all. That's the problem with this, is that I think it's just the type of cheese perhaps that they're using, maybe the amount of the cheese that they're using in the crust, perhaps decrease some of that cheese in the crust, or make a different blend, and see how that works out from there. So go in here expecting a decent pizza, but the crust really isn't going to be anything special about it. They can wrap it in bacon, they can wrap it in pepperoni, ham, smoked sausage, whatever they want to do. But there's a problem with the cheese itself, which is really the main flavor, and it doesn't matter what they wrap it in, because you're really not going to be able to taste too much of that. Now, price-wise for this is $10, which is a bit expensive, you know, for just a few extra pieces of pepperoni and cheese. I think this is more of like an $8, $9 pizza, but so be it. Out of 10, therefore, what am I going to be rating the Pepperoni Stuffed Crust Pizza from Little Caesars? Out of 10, I'm going to have to give this... I mean, the pizza itself is average, it's okay, but remember, this isn't just a plain old, you know, deep dish pizza. We're analyzing it here further here. So I'm going to have to give it a 6.0 out of 10. It's a 6.0 out of 10. Could use a little work. Thank you for watching, folks. I'm your host, The Report of the Week, and take care.